Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic and we are diving into Historic again. Why? Because I kind of hate Standard right now and I think just about everyone else does. And so we're playing some Historic because it's fun. Anyway, so we are going to try playing out OMNATH in the format where it deserves to be in. I think it does deserve to still be in Historic. And so we're going to test that out today. And the main thing I wanted to do, this is something you can do in Standard, but we're not going to. But Chulane is just an awesome card, a card that I love. I think it's one of my commanders that I play with. It's just a really fun card, and it just should work really well with OMNATH. That's kind of the main idea with this. Is I wanted to play a deck with Chulane and OMNATH, and this is the deck that we came up with. So basically, Chulane gets a lot of value for playing lots of cheap creatures. Lots of creatures you can just be playing out. Get the ability of whenever you cast a creature, you get to put a land onto the battlefield. You get to ramp up to do some really cool stuff. So Chulane is one of the best ramp creatures that we have in our deck. Because it's a 5-drop, we can only squeeze in 2 copies here because we need the rest of the deck to really function well to get there. We do have lots of ways to just be digging for our Chulanes with our Growth Spirals, our Explorers, our Risen Reefs, our Uros, with everything that draws us cards. We might as well just be... Hopefully we'll run into our Chulane. I did also want to play one copy of the other OMNATH, especially because we are playing a little bit of like elemental stuff here. I had more copies of Leaf Druid initially. I wanted to bring in Lotus Cobra because for the mana fixing that we need for a 4-color deck, it's just necessary. Honestly, I may even want to go down completely Leaf Druids, go all the way up with Lotus Cobra, but I wanted to test it out, like the mix between an elemental tribal deck, also OMNATH land drop Chulane type of deck. And so this is shoved together a bunch of really good cards that are still going to work well together, I think, even though I'm not totally sure if it's optimized towards the style it should be just yet. But hey, that's the whole point of doing fun, interesting things, is that we're going to make it fun and interesting by mixing them somehow here. And so basically we're playing a Risen Reef deck, with OMNATH and with this OMNATH as well, which are actually really, really good, as well as one copy of Yarsharn, which helps us go digging for more lands. It does stop people from being able to sacrifice non-link permanents, which does kind of just host some decks in Historic, so that's pretty nice. And so I do like it in here, partly for the sacking stuff. It's also an elemental. It's a 4/4 creature, and it goes and digs for 2 cards to get put into our hand, which works really well with our Explore, Growth Spirals, and Uro. We need lots more cards in hand. And so we are going to be able to ramp up pretty well with this deck. Either just with our ramping creatures, hopefully getting to our Chulanes, our OMNATHs, or our Nissas pretty quickly, and then just kind of hopefully snowballing out of control. That's the idea of this deck. We can just end up drawing out our deck a little bit here by just going too far, either with Chulane or Risen Reef. And so we do have one copy of Thassa's Oracle. I'm not sure if it's better to be playing this over Jace, or it's just a static effect that's there. I know it's a lot harder to interact with Thassa's Oracle's ability, though. So that was kind of the main idea, putting this one in instead. And it works a little bit better with Chulane, where if we do have the 2 blue mana to play, then we can at least draw a card, put a land onto the battlefield if we need to. And if we have other ways to be winning, like just doing 4 damage with OMNATH over and over again because it's busted. Anyway, so that is the idea of this deck. One Chandra in here just because we're playing elementals. It's a semi one-sided board wipe that will be pretty nice. The -3 ability also doesn't kill Chulane or like a lot of the stuff, and so it's just good. The only thing that really dies is Lotus Cobra and Llanowar Elves, and that's okay. And then we also have Nissa in here because Nissa's just busted, and we like to play busted things sometimes. And so this is the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us. I guess we could also throw in like a Genesis Ultimatum or something like that into here, but right now I'm just going to be playing it as it is. There's lots of ways we can go into it, but real quick, I did want to touch on the mana base. Try to squeeze in the pathways in with all the lands we already have in Historic. It's really hard to pick the right land base for this type of thing, and so I'm pretty pleased with what I have now. One basic of each type. It's just so we can go digging for, like with Yarsharn, we do have to have basics for it, and I'm okay if it just hits 1. We don't have any Fabled Passages because we're trying to go 4-color, but really heavy in blue and green, basically with all of our dual lands, where we get to squeeze in red and white with our blue and green dual lands is how I try to go for it. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against Aoros, bringing it on, and a lot of ramp. We're going to keep this. This is the kind of hand where it's like, it would be fun to have an Ugin as well in the deck, but again, you can do so many things to just try to be the most competitive possible, or you can actually have fun with Magic. And I try to fit somewhere in between those, honestly. I feel like it's always hard to find the right spot between those. Tyrant, Scorn, rude. Let's actually go for explore while we can. So let's go white source here. Explore. Play Hinterland Harbor and Llanowar. And pass the turn. Alright, there's Stomping Ground. Let's just go ahead and attack in. Let's play out, and I don't want to shock ourselves too much, but it's fine too. Alright, so Leafkin Druid as well. Stomping Ground, pay 2. Pass the turn. Alright, now we need to dig into not ramp cards. That would be very, very nice. I mean, having ramp is nice, so we can play multiple things on a turn. But we'll see. Dovin's Veto. Alright, that's okay. Thassa's Oracle. We can dig for something that's actually worth playing. The nice thing with Chulane too is that we can actually bring it back to hand. So I'm going to go ahead and play it out here. We really need to hit something worth playing off the top of our deck. Alright, it froze it for a bit there. Alright. Keep one on top. That's a Nissa. Nissa's good. And opponent just scoops it up. Sweet. I think they're just not hitting their land drops. We're really ahead on lands, and they probably didn't have an answer for whatever we kept on top. Like no counter spells. I'll take it. Alright. Alright, up against Tonsor. Bring it on, Tonsor. And we will keep this. I really like a Lotus Cobra on turn 2. That seems really good. Stomping Ground tapped. Pass the turn. Into an Uro as well. Not too shabby. Alright, let's go. I don't want more colors out here. Do I want to shock myself for that? Or just play the Crawling Barrens. We can play more things out, right? So we're fine. Yeah, play out the Lotus Cobra. Hopefully it survives. Pass the turn. Alright, they do have a shock. Rude. That is one value of Leafkin Druid. It doesn't die as easily to a lot of things. Alright, pay 2. Let's go ahead and just play this and the Explorer. It's a lot of ramp. We don't get to do this in instant speed, but that's fine. Play this out. Pay 2. Explore. Dig for another land. Not a land. That's fine. Land next turn gives us Nissa. That's a pretty good thing to ramp into. Stormfist Crusador. Not a land either. Interesting. I can't block with Leafkin anyway. It's more guaranteed to get the ramp up to Nissa. Yeah, alright. I did think we were going to get there, though. Yeah, unfortunately we aren't able to switch it up whenever we are putting lands from our hand onto the battlefield with the branchways, or with the pathways. That's why I try to have them focus on cards that we'd already want anyway. And I think it'll turn out pretty well. Chandra's going to be sweet here if we find a red source. And they play out a few more things. Alright, if it's power, or each to, I haven't seen this, so I would actually play this card. This is the Death Shadow. That's not a Death Shadow. It's based off of everyone's life total. Alright, so yeah, we're taking 3. Oh, I really wanted red meta there. Nissa creates more blockers. I can play Llanowar Elves, like Risen Reef, Llanowar. I really want to get to red mana quickly, though, just to try to kill this. This is interesting, for sure. I think I'm going to try for playing around this a little bit better. Take action. Yeah, play that tapped. Alright, so we do get Chandra, which, if they get to grow this too much more, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So Llanowar probably just out as a chump blocker. No attacks past the turn. Down to 14. Yeah, Stormfront. This is interesting. I was wondering how someone would actually make this work. But if you play this with like Spawn of Mayhem and Stormfist Crusader, Scourge of Skyclaves is pretty sweet. Cut. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, well, we chump. Take 4. And an Embercleave. Alright. Sweet. That got us. I did not expect that at all. I don't think that we could have played much better around that. Other than just hitting the red source beforehand. That was just really cool. I like that deck. All right, up against Shua. I find too much enjoyment from silly names, I think. All right, keep this hand. Blaze a Mountain, Fanatical Firebrand. Oh, I always hate playing a land or else into a Fanatical Firebrand. But I mean, we get it off the board. We still have so much ramp that, like, okay, you get something that won't do 3 more points of damage to us. Or you just shock. That's cool. Alright, let's go for the pathways. Let's go ahead and put it on red here. Play Leafkin Druid. Just as a blocker, slow it down a little bit, pass the turn. Firebrand number 2. Let's go, yeah, stomps. Gets rid of a Firebrand. Cool. Down to 17. Alright, let's play Explore. Draw an Uro. No blue mana yet. This has been a little bit rough. Alright, pay 2. Let's go on green source here. We mostly need green sources. As long as we have 2 red sources, we're fine for the rest of the game, basically. Leafkin Druid has another good blocker. And we're hoping to find some blue mana along the way. Wizard's Lightning. I mean, any burn that's not going at face is really nice here, especially once we start getting Uros coming out. Crawling Baron's also not too shabby at all. Alright, pass the turn. Hazoret. That's annoying. To each opponent. Alright, so it can attack immediately. Alright, down to 9. Yeah, that's really good. We have to draw a blue source. You know, that would be nice. Nice thing here is I don't actually have to make it into a creature, so we just decline. There's a blue source. Yes. Let's see. I could go Growth Spiral and make Crawling Barrens bigger. Not this turn, right? Alright, we're going to try to find another blue source. So we can actually bring Uro back as a good blocker here. Gain some life. There's a blue source. I don't think we can shock ourselves, though, for it. Alright, but we're taking 6 at least here. We're still not in great shape. But that's at least, like, a chance. I mean, OMNATH would have been nice to be able to be gaining 4 life every turn. That would have been sweet. That's the idea of this deck, because we have so much life gain that we should be able to stabilize and kind of overcome. We're kind of slow on this matchup. Alright, so let's go with Growth Spiral. I need to put another card into the graveyard here for Uro. Alright, so they have 2 points of damage they can deal right now. Yeah, so Shotgun Yourself doesn't feel that great. OMNATH isn't that bad. That gains us 4 life and it's a decent block. Oh, no, this is the different OMNATH. Alright, yeah, pay 2. Play the Uro. Back up to 7. We can block Bone Crusher. Still not quite stay alive, though. We have to block. So the 2 points of damage I can deal here, I think we're still dead. Up to 5. Yeah, so that's game. This gives us another blocker. So I think we actually decline on this. We need a land to play to make... oh, it's a green source that we need. Yeah, so we are dead on board. If they draw a card, they do 2 points of damage anyway. Like, yeah. We just drew the blue source too late. That's fine. We'll go to the next one. Alright, up against Cole's Git. And keep this hand. This is Beautimus. This is one of the best things about Llanowar into Lotus Cobra is that we get to play the extra land with it out there on the turn it comes out. So beautiful. Glorious. Let's go Breeding Pool. Llanowar. Pass the turn. Snubhorn Sentry. Alright, go Lotus Cobra. Play, yeah, just Pathway. Add green mana. Growth Spiral. Temple Garden tapped. Add green mana. And Llanowar Elves. Dude, the amount of stuff we can play on one turn is so awesome in this deck. It would be, maybe, there is something to be said about maybe holding off a little bit so that we can actually play things when we have Chulane in hand, but we haven't found it yet. Alright, let's play the red source. Isharn. 2 cards to hand. Yeah, we'll swing in. Down to 19, pass the turn. Snubhorn Sentry number 2. Alright, Ascend. Mono White Weenie. Fun stuff. Alright, first off, attack with Yarsharn. Okay, down to 15. Lotus Cobra, number 2. And we'll play the tap land while we can. Pass the turn. 8 permanents on the board. They can put 2 more out. Snubhorn Sentries get a lot bigger and more scurry. A Shalai. Alright, so they're 1 away. Now they have Hexproof. Alright, we are going to go ahead and play out the Thassa's Oracle. We have to hit something good here. Oh, how many? Oh, we don't have enough red sources. Actually, with that is sweet. Yeah, so we go Chandra. We have to have the Lotus Cobra trigger work here, so hopefully that survives. We'll just keep land in hand, pass the turn. Agony. And there's the pump.
To see you, my friend. Deliver us to victory.
Yep, those guys get bigger. One of them can become indestructible with Dauntless Bodyguard as well. This also means that Chandra doesn't kill it anymore. And we have to kill Shalai before we do anything else. How do we do this? Alright, swings with everything. That's what they should be doing. We'll force Dauntless Bodyguard to save one of them. I think Chandra has to kill the Shalai. It's really the only thing that's good here. Let's chomp. I'm debating if I want to put everything in front of this one, just kill it as well. Let's it through. Alright, this only targeted that Snubhorn Sentry. Right, I forgot. Probably should have checked that to begin with. Alright, on a red source. Go Chandra.
If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my flames.
Alright, hit Shalai.
I've got a burning desire to finish you.
Pass the turn. We can't quite go after Johnny just yet. Snubhorn from hand. He can -2 and bring back another Snubhorn and just have a bunch of big creatures. Conclave Tribunal. That also works.
Ugh, reduced to embers.
We really need to find like some of our key pieces here.
My strength.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump. There's Chulane. Pass the turn. Spire. Yeah. Okay, we have like 2 turns here to try to survive and get big enough to do something. Jump here, take 5. They also get the emblem with a Johnny. We can actually be okay with the emblem though. Although we just lost our Thassa's Oracle. as a win con. OMNATH. Alright, play out the plains. Add, let's just go green mana. Alright, equal to the number of stuff that we control. So we kill the aspirant. This has vigilance, right? Alright, so we get to draw a card. This will be our 8th land, I believe. Enters tapped. Counter onto OMNATH. Another land. Let's see. So we could return the Lotus Cover. We could play out another land here. I want to be able to swing in with Chulane, though. To hit this. I think we're fine. I actually may be okay with them going ahead with this. So, alright. Bounce back Lotus Cobra. Replay Lotus Cobra. Now we have one less blocker as well. Yeah, put it onto the battlefield. Draw a card. Fortunately, we didn't get the green source there. Oh, this is interesting. We can again stay alive one more time. They went for the emblem, which emblem is really good. It's beginning the end step. 3 cats. That's so many. Oh, man. We have to block something here. Take 6, kill a Snowborn Sentry. Down to 4. Vacate, create 3 cats. Alright, let's see if we can go off a little bit here. This is the dream. Nope, no more lands. Let's not do that anymore. Add some green mana. Play out Llanowar again. There's a Risen Reef. This out. Add blue mana. Play Risen Reef. Play it tapped. Add green mana. Big OMNATH to hand. OMNATH. Have we already played land for turn? We have to gain life. So I can bounce something back and play it. I can bounce a Llanowar else. Let's go ahead and add the mana. Play it tapped. We have blockers. Green mana. Alright, we get a Risen Reef trigger as well. And this is the whole thing about this deck that I was trying to go for, is that once you get a few of these things out, it's just an engine. You get to play out basically your entire deck, which I've decided is good. Let's go ahead and play out Breeding Pool. No fear and pay for it here. Alright, gain some life. Play Uro. Another OMNATH. We get to play out Uro again. We'll probably stop there. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to leave the Thassa's Oracle in the graveyard just to make them think that we can bring it back. We have no way of doing that, but we're going to make them think that we do. Alright, how many lands do I have left? We also can tap. Let's play this tapped. We actually get some extra mana here as well, right? Gain some life, draw a card. That's a Nissa. Let's play a Nissa.
I will protect the virtue of this world.
Alright, I do want to play another land if possible. So I think that we go for the Uro. So let's untap a pathway. Oh, that's the wrong one. Dang it, I meant to go for something blue. We can... now we can't do anything. Pass the turn. I messed up there, but that's fine. We get to go wide enough. Our life total became 12. That's not too shabby. All right, are you going to attack into this? 3 more cats. All right, can we actually finish him off? We have to get to the third thing of OMNATH probably to kill him here. Or just win with Nissa along the way. I'm not sure if we can actually do that, though. All right, so number 1, Uro. Yeah, unfortunately, we already lost our Thassa's Oracle. And that's going to be an issue here. I shouldn't be adding the green mana. Keep this one. What is our finisher at this point? Play Uro number 2 for the turn. we are probably going to bail ourselves out without the Thassa's Oracle. Play it tapped. Alright, 4 points of damage to face. That is how we finish him off, I think, is we just have to be able to hit the lands that we need. And then maybe force him to actually lose enough creatures here. Alright, Leafkin Druid. I think that we want to hold off on playing too many more lands at this point. So we untap another land. Let's go with Pathway here.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Next, we swing in. Let's offer him some trades. They have a lot of life gain from these cats as well. Our life total doesn't matter as much anymore, though. We have to start attacking in with enough creatures for it to be worthwhile. Decline to put the land in. We need lands for the next turn so we can actually hit with OMNATH. Snubhorn hits there. Alright, killing more cats is exactly what we want, so that is fine with us. Okay, down to 12. OMNATH number 2. Decline. Alright, green for life. Add a green source. Play Leafkin Druid. Play Hinterland Harbor. Get some extra mana. Elemental. OMNATH on top. So we get to hit one more land, right? For this turn. To do a little bit more damage. I think that we need a burn spell in this deck as well. We can keep going off. Like, this is a turn that we would definitely go off just to finish off with Thassa's Oracle. But because we messed up there, I don't know if we can. I can play out another OMNATH. Let's pass the turn, though. 16 cards left. We have to be a little bit careful here. Pendulous Marshal. Oh, that's awful. That's the worst possible card we could see there. Swing in. Just trying to gain some life here. Yeah, back up to 10. Gets 6 more power of life. Do we have a Chandra still defined? No, we also lost the Chandra, right? Alright, pass to my turn. I can bounce something now to my hand. Let's bounce Leafkin Druid. Alright, so I think that we need something more than just the Jace, or the Thassa's Oracle. Jace here would be better for us in this at this point. And this is why I was thinking about having it there. So we can do 8 points of damage. I don't think there's a way we can win. This is fun. That is one thing about this, is that it is a pretty sweet deck. It's doing cool things. Go for Risen Reef. We'll mill ourselves out. Why not? That's a fun way to end it. Crawling Baron actually is sweet here. Like, that's another good finisher that we could have, just as a big, beefy creature. Get some triggers with Risen Reef. Take action. I guess we can always have it enter untapped now. Our life total is no longer an issue. That is one cool thing I was able to see with this, is that our life total really is not an issue at all with this. We're getting so much life, drawing so many cards, we hit so many different things. The OMNATHs are for sure hitting off to their hitting for 4. And so if we can hit 3 more lands before we're dead here, we have a chance. So that's deal 4 damage number 1. Okay. Oh, did we already deal 4 damage? Oh, I missed it. That's right. They started at 10. So yeah, we're done here. We can't actually finish it. I won't let them last any longer. I'm going to add in one more Jace to the deck here. I think that will fit a little bit better for the deck. Because I think one Thassa's Oracle and one Jace, and that'll be good. Okay, up against JP Garduno, and keep this. I like it. Skirk Prospector. All right, Chandra. Yasharn actually would be pretty good here too, being able to stop the Skirk Prospector from sacking, if we can get there fast enough. But being on the draw here is going to hurt. That's not a Yasharn. Alright, so Hollow Fountain tap, pass the turn. Alright, down to 19. Alright, play Forest. I think I actually want to put out the Leafkin Druid just as a blocker here. Now that we know that we have 2 extra lands for the next turn, this will be fine. So play out the Leafkin Druid, pass the turn. Swings in with a Snoop and doesn't use the Krenko ability. Do they have like Gem Palm Incinerator? If it gets a card out of their hand here, I'm actually okay with that. Oh, Chain Whirler. Interesting. Alright, if we can get to this Chandra, man, that is the dream, I think, here. Alright, I need this to be on red. And I guess we pass the turn. It might have been nice to draw a card to see if we can find some sort of blocker, or a ramp spell actually might have been nice. War Chief. Hits for a bunch and a half. Okay, Growth Spiral. We get to gain some life back. Breeding Pool tapped. That gives us all of our colors, right? Dang it. Now I want the green source to be able to play another blocker, but that's fine. Okay, we get to draw a card. If it's a green source, that's nice. Ooh, do we shock ourselves for it, though? For an extra blocker? It could be Muxus. They're going to go wide with Krenko. So this can block at least 3 points of damage. So yeah, I guess so. It's worth it. PTU. Blocker. So we trade off. We get 1 point of life back, basically. Although we'll probably block here anyway, now that I think about it. We'll see. play Krenko. Make a ton of goblins. And we will see if we're dead or not. Or if they just play Muxus here. Come on, let us get to Chandra. You can do it, deck. Gem Palm Incinerator. Ah, Omnath dies. Red Source off the top still lets us have a shot. If we're not dead. I think we're dead. Yeah, I think they have exactly lethal, even if we block Chain Whirler. We might go to 1. Okay, red source off the top. I think that with them not swinging here, we can even shock in a land. Alright, so Stomping Grounds is fine. Kind of. I mean, we're still kind of screwed, but let's do this. Where did Krenko go? That's not a red source. How far away were we from it? Draw with Growth Spiral. We were 1 draw off of it. And the thing is, if Omnath had stayed alive for this turn, we would have still been able to play it. And so they just had everything that they needed. So, that's frustrating. That is very frustrating. We actually totally could have turned the corner there, and I think we probably would have won. That's rough. Dude, we're up against Iron Man. Sweet. We do have Growth Spiral. I've been waiting to have Chulane. Chulane with Omnath are actually awesome together. 2 Chulanes in hand, though. We'll see. We have some ramp. I'm going to keep it. We at least should be able to get to the Omnath. We have all the colors to do so. The nice thing, too, is that the Growth Spiral can actually put this out on the red side of it. So that's nice. But we do have to find a white source to actually play Chulane. Or another blue source. Alright, Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. Being on the play as well is nice. And I feel like I don't have that happen nearly often enough. Man, Rampa would be nice too. Pathway. The chance they could just counter this as well. We'll make them do it though. Pass the turn. Okay, plays Island. Almost guarantee they have a counter for this. Or our next good thing. Hollow Fountain tapped. So I'm fine with Omnath dying, actually. If we can have Omnath die and actually resolve the Chulane. Ooh, I could put this on... man. I could resolve an extra Growth Spiral. Let's go for Omnath. I have a feeling it's a counterspell, regardless. So let's get this countered. Get out of the way. Hopefully we get to resolve Chulane on the next turn. If this doesn't get countered, I mean... We don't have a ton of elementals, so it's like we're only doing 1 point of damage here. The main thing is that it's a threat on board. If they bounce it, that's also fine. Brineborn Cutthroat. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a hard matchup. That's the issue with this deck, I feel like, is that there's just so... That's one of my favorite things about Historic right now. There's so many other decks out there, and like if our deck goes off, we will win. If their deck goes off and does their thing, and like ours is just a really slow process of what we're trying to do, and that's fine. They're gonna bounce now. Oh, that still leaves up 2 mana. Okay. That's not a land. Man, we don't really have that many good options at all here. Let's go for Growth Spiral. I want to try to hit the green source. Decline. Put it in as green. Llanowar. If we can resolve the Chulane and then get Omnath going with the land drops, then anytime we hit a land drop, we draw a card. Anytime we play a creature, we draw a card. Gets to be pretty sweet stuff. No blocks for now. Take 3, that's fine. Down to 17. Use up tons and tons of mana. Alright, Chulane number 1. Maybe I should have attacked in with Llanowar else first. So Chulane actually resolves. I'm assuming, yeah, it gets bounced and they start pumping. Yeah, that's annoying. We'll attack in. Down to 18, pass the turn. Down to 13. Tempest Jin. Ooh. Alright, play Chulane again. Look out's dispersal. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. We don't have anything that can actually deal with Tempest Jin quick enough. If we got to Chandra, like, so if we find a red source, we can probably play it out there, but that one's not worth playing. Alright, so there you guys have it with OMNATH here, and not a good running record. The deck was fun to play. Like, that definitely was there, and there's a lot of games where it's like, we're starting to go off, it's doing cool things, and that's probably the biggest thing I noticed is that OMNATH and Chulane together made so much fun stuff. And like Risen Reef, Uro, like if you got all of the pieces going, it was just really, really cool. There was the one turn where we definitely could have won if we just had a Thoughts Oracle still in the deck, or a Jace or whatever to actually put out onto the battlefield. But and so that was the case, is that we just didn't have it because I had to play early game to deal with everything that's going on. And that's the biggest issue of this deck. We need some sort of removal. Like Chandra I thought would be good enough. And it was okay. I think that maybe like River's Rebuke, well, honestly, probably like Shadow the Sky or something like that, like an actual good one. But River's Rebuke is also a good one that we can play here, where return all non-land permanent target player controls to their owner's hand. Just as a sorcery speed, it's 6 mana, but on turn 6, we can just completely reset their entire board regardless of what they're playing. So it's just it catches everything as a board wipe, kind of. We could do like Cleansing Nova as well, but it is nice to be able to keep our stuff on the battlefield. We could do the same type of thing with like we could go for the game plan of trying to get out a bunch of permanents onto the battlefield and do the same thing with the other version that like you return everyone's stuff, but then you can put out a what's it called, Omnipotence or whatever, Omniscience. That could be fun as well, but River's Rebuke can come into the deck and be good. So I think the deck actually does have some power. We weren't hitting our 4-drops as consistently as I was hoping. Actually, the biggest thing is we weren't hitting our Uros and Risen Reefs as consistently as I was hoping. Like, I don't think we found them at all during those games, and that was just rough. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.